Hello, boardwalkers. Bamboo cutting boards for art. What could you possibly use them for? Well, I use them to make a James Gurney easel. And the top portion of my James Gurney easel has broken in half, and so it's missing the top board. The top board used to go on like so, but as you can see, it's broken in half. And so now I'm thinking I might use these half boards to make additions on the side of my James Gurney easel to hold my brushes or my water cup. But in today's video, I thought I'd share with you how I'm going to fix this easel. So let me get the camera and my drill and all the things that we're going to need to fix this easel together. All right, boardwalkers, I've got my lithium drill with a 7/64 drill bit in it. I've got my cutting boards, my bamboo cutting boards. The large one is 11 inches by 7.8 inches, and it's 0.2 thickness. I've also got a small one, which is an 8.6 inch and a 5.9 inch that I use for a small drawing board. But we're going to take this and we're going to decide which side I want to use. I think I want to use this side. This side feels smoother than this side. But what I also do is I also look at them to see which side's going to look better. Yeah, that side might look better. So next, what we're going to do is I'm going to move these aside a little bit. And these are just plain old drill bits that are good for wood, metal, or plastic. I've got my screws in a cup. Now, the hardest part of doing this is finding these hinges. These are backdoor hinges that have a torque control on them, so that when you tighten this center screw here, it keeps that from moving much. You can adjust how, this one's a little more snug and tighter to move, whereas this one's kind of wore itself loose, so I'm going to have to, yeah, see, I don't know if you can see that, but this one's got a little more gap in it than this one does, so I'm going to have to screw this one down when we get done. But we're going to lay this on here and line it up. There we go. Line it up. Then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to put a dot where my screw is going to go. Now these torque hinges run about $8 or $9 for a set of 2. And that's the hardest part, is finding these hinges. Alright, let me see if I can sit down here. Now, as I was saying, I always buy these in sets of 2 because when you go to drill, sometimes your board will crack. And the trick I have found to this is that you just have to go slow. And make sure you don't have your drill set on a really rough torque. And just take your time. We're making progress. I might need to buy a new set of drill bits. And there you go. The first hole. Short little bursts to start to get it to go. And slow and steady wins the race. Now I would suggest, if you're doing this at home and you don't have the luxury of having a gap in your porch like I do, to do this, to set it up on blocks and make sure you don't drill you through your hole, your holes through your tables or anything. All right, we've got our second hole. And my assistant is out here again helping, so he's barking in the background. I apologize. You just like the boardwalkers to know you're here, right? Hole number 3. Get on there. And you're walking. The board is moving. I would suggest clamping your board still. And there we have my board. Normally I will sand these with some sandpaper, but I'm not going to worry with that too much. Now, these hinges usually come with the screws. And I have, and they come with these little nug nuts that keep them on there. And I have managed to lose mine. So, I'm going to take these boards right here and balance this up here so that I can get these in right. maybe be able to undo this. Now I have an extra 7/64, so I'm just going to slide that in there like I do and put the lid on it so I don't lose it. And I'm going to grab a drill bit. What kind of screws have I got? They're all Phillips. Okay. So I need to find my one. Now this one's got a standard flathead screw and a Phillips screw. The Phillips screw is this X one. I just need to get my bit in my and let's see if we can screw this in here without me damaging. Make sure I'm lined up with that hole. We are. And just slowly screw it in just a bit. I don't want to go all the way yet with it till I make sure it's lined up with the second screw. You see my board is already wedging. Boards stacked up here right again so I can get this up here right. Okay. That is not lining up. Sometimes this does not line up quite right. Okay, let's see if we can get this last screw in here. Too hard. There we go. Go. I'm not holding it straight. All right, now we're getting this repaired, and I can use this now to go plein air painting. And guess what I just did? I screwed it on there with the handle on the opposite side. So, that's kind of not the way I wanted it, but I don't know. I might be all right with it. Because now, yep, I'm going to have to flip that around. Because that's bending this way with this clip up here instead of it down below. So let's take the screws out and we'll flip it around. Put this on the other side so that it will fold correctly. I think I've got my side. There we go. Well, if I can hang on to it. Things are hard to hold. There we go. Alright, and this is adjustable because you can slide it to fit whichever side you want. There we go. Now let's put that back in there and we'll be able to fold this upright. My board's back up again. With that clip on the bottom that is causing it to not line up straight. There's much better. All right, let's try this one more time, boardwalkers. Let's see if I can get it to set up right. Always fun to see us figure out how to fix those mistakes, even when we're building portable easels. So, you can build a portable easel with the adjustable torque hinges, which are about $8 in US dollars. And these cutting boards cost me about $15 bucks, 15 US dollars. So I didn't spend a whole lot of money on this to get a working easel. It does not cost a lot to build your own easel, and it doesn't require a lot of skill. build this. There's not a lot of cutting or it's a really quick and simple solution. A budget-friendly solution. There we go. That's much better. All right, and there you have it. I can now set my painting up here. I can put my palette up here with my little hook here that I hold my water bucket on. And then I can clip my paper up here on the top and it's set and ready to go. So now that we've got this repaired, let me fold it up and we'll see how it works in the field now on my tripod. CB Mac here. In today's non-sponsored video, could I ask you if you're enjoying the content? Could you please click the subscribe button over here? I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year. Also, please post a comment down below. Don't forget to click that thumbs up like button. Share this video with someone who you think might enjoy the video. And then don't forget to click that bell icon so you'll get upcoming notifications of when my next new videos are. It makes a huge difference to the growth and the support of my channel. And to my subscribers that I've already joined, I do appreciate each and every one of you. Now, let's get back to our video. Okay, boardwalkers, so I've got all my supplies ready for us to see how this James Gurney style easel is going to work with my tripods. I've got my big tripod that I'm going to put it on, and then I've got that travel supply bag that we did last week. I've got it all ready here, so let me get it set up and we'll see how it's going to work on our tripods and whether this bag is going to work for my Plein Air adventures. Okay, boardwalkers, as you can see, I've got the tripods set up, and I'll now have 2 bags to keep my tripod sturdy. I can use the tripod bag for my bigger tripod, for my small filming tripod, and then this bag does sit on there and hang and hold this heavier tripod, my Joilcan tripod. Much sturdier. So let me set up the camera and we'll attach the tripod real quick on here. I've got the camera up there secure. Now, we went ahead and I made sure to find some screws to tighten up the adjustable tension on these hinges. I don't know if you can see that real well. But now it's definitely going to be real sturdy and not wiggle or move anywhere when I shake it. It's not going to loosen up and fall apart. Now, all I've got to do is attach our clip to our tripod. And just slide this in. Oh, come on, get in there. All right, and now I am ready and set up to where I can paint and I can pull out my various sketchbooks and I can work on them here, or I can clip them up here with a clip. I can lay it flat and work flat if I want. Now I'm not sure that this is going to work well for me to open up while we're working, but I do have the luxury to pull out any of the supplies that we did last week. I will say that I did add a few more of my graphite pencils and some more mechanical pencils and my dual purpose travel screwdriver that has Phillips screws and the plain screws in it. But I do think this setup is going to work really nicely. This is a pretty heavy piece of equipment, and this tripod will hold 35-pound weight on it. So I really think this setup is going to work nicely for me to be able to do any of my plein air painting with the gouache or the watercolors or my colored pencils and my watercolor pencils. So, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and I will read each and every one of those. I'll also have links so where you can find these hinges, where you can find the bamboo cutting boards, and any of this other travel plein air equipment that I have, with the affiliated links in the description below. It's about to rain, so I think we're going to close up shop for the day, and we'll get to painting something and creating some other kind of art next week when the weather's a little bit more cooperative. I look forward to seeing you guys again next week, Boardwalkers. Goodbye for now.